to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. I am your 24/7 champ of cheap, Brian, and coming to you live from suburban Los Angeles, California. Jason is here. Jason, is West Coast still the best coast, as they say?
Today it is, because I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, come
Reason enough.
Saturday night at 10 p.m. Pacific, when I jump back on a plane to do the red eye back to the East Coast, that standing goes away.
Okay.
But I got to tell you real quick.
Yeah.
I sent a picture to the social team. Did you guys see my DVD collection?
Mm-hmm.
Hacking.
I mean, the world of physical media is going away. And I got to tell you, I'm glad that I kept the wrestling DVDs. Because like Peacock, they cut out entrance music. Any ECW violence is out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching this or listen to, keep physical media, games, music, movies, television show, anything. Because like Best Buy used to be the spot to go to. They had rows and rows and rows of music. And now they have like a cardboard like display.
I heard they're getting rid of selling them.
That's what I read. I had read that
Best
too.
Buy is supposed to be like getting no longer ordering DVDs.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, Walmart still has a pretty decent selection and Target, but it just in general, keep physical media alive because, Kev, you're a gamer. Like, what do you think? Physical games, or do you think digital downloads are fine?
I don't. If I'm paying $60, I'm getting the physical case game if it comes with instructions, and I've never sold a system, so
neither have I. I have too many
containers and containers. But no, you said I saw the pile. How many? Because you're moving. How many totes? Because I'm going to estimate that's probably, it looked about what, 150, about 250 DVDs.
I didn't count them. You can, if you want to count them in a picture, go right ahead.
I might count them. I don't know if I can count.
It could be like a contest, like whoever is closest gets a
whoever's
free,
closest gets a copy of WrestleMania
sticker. Yeah,
the pictures out there now, so they can just count and cheat. But no, it was 2 27-gallon totes that filled the thing, and like
that's plenty.
It's a workout.
For the last year and a half or 2 years,
54 gallons.
They've just been in a cabinet. So once I get situated in the new spot, I'm gonna find some way to display those bastards because they need to be seen.
And then the next question is, will you actually watch them?
Some. I really do think I will.
I think that's the next question is like, because I have a bunch of old CDs too. And it's like, I've gotten that same grief of like, get rid of those. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to get rid of it. There's not doing any harm in the box.
Right.
But I honestly don't think I'm ever going to listen to them again.
I sold my CDs on Marketplace a couple years ago when I was moving, but it was after I uploaded all of them on my computer, and I have a basically terabyte hard drive. Yeah, so like all my music is still there, and like I own it, but I was saving space with the move, so I got rid of all the CDs, but was able to do that with at least with music.
I did find a box of CDs, and actually, Brian, do you remember when Death Magnetic came out? Anytime you bought anything Metallica, they just gave you a free copy. If you bought a ticket for a concert,
yeah, that's right. Yes,
I had 4 in the wrapper Death Magnetic CDs.
Whoa!
I'm like, what the? I threw them away. I just like, what am I doing with it?
So I started counting.
Oh,
and
Rain Man, what's going on?
I'm going to estimate because I was at 180 and there's 2 more rows. It's about 210 on that one table. Is that all of them, or do you have more?
No, that's all the wrestling stuff. Okay. I haven't bought them in a while just because. Well, like remember, when we were in Fort Wayne, we went to Walmart for something. And like 3 months prior, they're like, oh, we're not making WWEs, not putting out any more DVDs. Well, guess what? They are still putting out DVDs. Like, I don't understand what the deal is here. Maybe maybe Triple H loves physical media as well, and he's keeping the department going. I don't really plan on buying anymore. I just want to probably will buy WrestleManias. I have to get 39 from last year, but I was texting with Barbara Ryan. He's a big DVD collector as well, and he said he has a bunch. He just got All In on Blu-ray today, literally. So
this past All In or the original?
Yeah, the past one from Wembley, CM Punk's final match.
Nice.
Yeah. So it just, I don't know, like it's just packing and moving and getting rid of stuff and throwing stuff away, and it's just one of those days. Like I got a bunch of sneakers I'm trying to get rid of too. So got that.
If you were only a 13.
I know, Kev.
Aren't you 13 as well, Joe?
Yes.
Damn.
Oh, Joe. Sorry.
What are you, a good 7.5, Bri?
Easy. I'm in double digits. I'm like 10.5, maybe 11.
Women's?
If I'm really trying.
You 11?
I'm like 10.5, 11. It depends.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, I put a post up for my friends in LA if anybody wanted, but nobody reached out. So they're gonna get binned up, boxed up, thrown in the pod, and 6 months from now when it gets to my house or whenever I get into it. There's KD's, there's LeBron's, there's Brooks. Just all kind of shit I'm getting rid of. So
you got that Karl Malone LA Knights
with the catapults.
Was that Karl Malone LA Knight? Who was LA Knight?
I think it was.
No, it was LA Gear.
LA Knight's on
LA
sale.
Gear.
LA Gear.
It was British.
Yeah, LA Knight. Yeah,
British
LA
Knights and LA
sneakers,
Gear
yeah.
combined.
LA Gear was like either way
Let
they
me
were
talk to you, dummy. Yeah.
either way they were the free shoes that kids got on Double Dare. Those were British
amazing.
Knights.
That's amazing.
It's what you got with the Jordache jeans, Joe. Wait,
oh my God.
This is a wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Do you remember kangaroos? They had the little pouch on the side.
Yes.
And that's where I'd put my lunch ticket for schools. Elementary school.
So he was a purpose for them.
Damn.
Yeah. LA Gears.
LA Gear. Somebody's got to put that bootleg logo of the LA Gear for LA Night. Do it.
Well, you're doing production on this week. Maybe you could do that. Right.
Can you throw a telestrator up, start drawing?
Yeah, there we go. I don't know if I can pull off a McAfee. We'll see what's what. All right, let us get down to business. We, of course, are going to be talking all things Elimination Chamber. Let's go back to start, though. Last Friday night, SmackDown, The Rock officially went heel. He joined the Bloodline. He cut a big promo that ended the show. Ended with, if you smell what the Bloodline is cooking. But, as many people, I think, online pointed out, The Rock's message may not have been exactly what it seemed. It seems like he's aligned with Roman. Some people said, hey, what about this? What about that? I don't know. Nevertheless, any of that, guys, what did you think of The Rock's promo?
He went back in his closet because that shirt used to have sleeves.
Yes. He looked like this guy. Yeah. I think it's the same shirt.
That's not far off. Yeah.
It's really not.
No, I really don't know how to feel, honestly. Like, part of me is just, I don't care. But then, like, okay, he's going to knock the herpes off your lip, fatty. That's fine. That made me laugh. But the one thing out of the entire promo that I didn't get is he did the guns up logo.
Yes.
It was an L, like loser.
It was an L, like
yes.
I don't know. I don't understand that.
I thought guns up.
He can't close his thumb.
I don't know. Look, I still think this is going back to last week when I said that he probably whispered into Cody's ear, "Let's get this motherfucker." So he's a double agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what some people were pointing out with the L instead of the ones up. There was another thing too where he was
pointing at them when he said, "You're entitled, and I'm gonna make sure you walk out of WrestleMania a loser." He was pointing at Roman Reigns the entire time while saying it, instead of he said he was talking about Cody. And Kevin, apology. I mean, you said you were gonna get sick if hearing Cody crybaby. I don't think he mentioned it at all during the promo. I don't think he said Cody crybabies.
He listened to the show.
He heard you.
He did. He listened to the show, and he's just like,
and I
smack
told
the
him
herpes off your mouth.
I believe "Crybaby Bitches" was used at some point.
Yeah.
But he was pointing at the 3.
Yeah. There's another little hint too, kind of like mini Easter eggs, right?
This is all an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's like, oh, I found the clue. So at the end, you'll be like, I knew Bruce Willis was dead at the end the whole time.
It's like you just found the wizard and the scroll in Waldo.
Yeah, did you give him the fashion tips about no sleeves?
I did. I told him sleeves were so 1998.
Gotcha.
Wait, hold up. Let me get some scissors. No, there was one little line too. I didn't hear it at first. And like instantly on X, right? People are like, this,
formerly
like
known as Twitter.
Boom. And it's what was one line was like, your story with Cody is ending, ours is just beginning, right? So it's just like, buckle up, buddy, type of thing. So I personally loved it. I like seeing Dwayne being a complete asshole to the crowd, be feisty on the mic. It was awesome. I fear for a long match. But the good thing is you probably won't have one until maybe SummerSlam, but that match is probably too big until WrestleMania. But the thing is, a year-long build.
He's done it before.
But that was back-to-back with Cena. After going against Cena, they ran it back after one match.
Once in a lifetime.
I don't know.
Once in a lifetime.
To be honest,
Jason has that DVD probably.
I think that is I think that's a SummerSlam all over it. I like.
You think it's SummerSlam? I hope.
We'll see. We'll see what the rumors play out.
I would have preferred,
location. But yeah,
I would have preferred him coming back with the black vest, Hollywood Rock, instead of sleeveless $500 shirt. I mean, inflation is real because he couldn't afford the sleeves anymore. That was a $500 vest. But no, I would have preferred the Hollywood Rock persona. But either way, anytime The Rock is on, good things happen. Even if you say, I was listening to Busted Open over the weekend, and they were just like, the one guy was just like saying, oh, it got my no yeet of the week. Dwayne's promo, I'm not feeling it. He was so rusty and all that stuff. And I'm like,
I heard that too.
It's a different. Was he rusty, or has the product changed that much that he's not caught up yet?
So I mean, I'll say a little clunky.
At least he wasn't writing it on his arm.
Yeah, thank God. Oh my God. That Cena moment pops up every now and again online, and I still can't believe that happened.
Well, Cena did Howard Stern 2 days ago.
I gotta watch that
and
or listen to it.
He talked of that. They did a whole thing about The Rock and the wristband and the like. Howard is the best interviewer in the world.
Yeah,
seriously,
love Howard.
So good.
I thought he was throwing out the reasoning of like, Cody, you don't just get a rematch. And he was trying to equate it to the Super Bowl. And it's like, Rock, did you forget the Royal Rumble happened and everything? So I thought that was a little clunky. But the other thing that I thought was, as he's throwing out those one-liners to the crowd of tearing them down, the crowd is smiling and clapping. You know, they're not acting the way they should for being torn down, right? It's the nostalgic. I get it, right? I'd probably be doing the same thing, but I hope in the future weeks that's going to level itself out a little bit, because it's one thing to say like, all your wives, Utah, and seeing guys in the crowd be like, yeah.
That was funny. I really laughed at that.
That was good.
My wife's like, what's so funny about that? I'm like, because they're Mormon and they got a bunch of wives. I think the only way he gets booed is if he kills a puppy in the middle of the ring.
So it doesn't go that far. But I'm glad you agree with me.
People would be cheering.
The who?
The cat people would be cheering. Kevin would be like, yay.
I hope they have more sense than that. Kevin, did you say true?
True. He said true. He said Ray and I would be cheering.
Ray said, fuck them pups. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I don't know. It was a fun watch. I'm hoping for maybe that's a little better as it moves on. We will move on to Monday Night Raw. Really, really good show, top to bottom, I thought. One of the best of the year. How about Drew winning? Cody taking his first pin, I think, since Mania. I know he got tapped out by Brock in one of those matches. But first pin since Mania, the same way with Solo spiking him from behind and taking the pin. So you've got that, and you've got Drew with this kind of being conflicted because this whole time he's like, "Oh, the family's gonna help you win anyway," and they helped him win.
You know what it's gonna be?
There was a lot to take on there, man. I loved it.
He is now known as Druso McIntyre.
Yeah,
Druso. Yes, Cody put that out there. That was great.
No, it was a good match. I mean, Drew he's next level. It just sucks that the roster is so bloated right now with talent. I mean, it's a guy
it's a bad thing.
Remember, last year I said, well, we don't know what his contract is. Go run AEW for 3 years. Could you imagine this version of Drew running roughshod over AEW? I'd be here for it. It'd be amazing. But now odds are he's probably the odds-on favorite to win the chamber. We'll have to go to draft duel and find out what the deal is there. But yeah, Drew was next level, man. And there's that Gunther Jey Uso match was sweet too.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the clip of McAfee was doing the arms until Gunther saw him and he was like,
yeah, it was like a cut off of him just like, I'm gonna stop. Like not
halfway.
Just like,
give me McAfee and Gunther at WrestleMania.
Oh, I'm down for that. I bit on Jimmy rings the bell, right? So we have that distraction. Gunther puts him in like the sleeper, and when Jay did like the flip over for the pin, I yelled out loud, "Oh shit!" Because I thought he was still gonna get it. Anybody else bite? Joe, you're shaking your head no.
I didn't bite because of the Uso interference at the beginning of the show. It was like it was setting up for Jimmy to cause Jay the title, and I didn't bite, but I'm glad that like Gunther is next level too. You say Drew is like where he's at right now. Gunther is next level as well. So it's sad that he's not going to be having a higher caliber match at Mania, but he's going to have probably one of the best matches at Mania.
He's very handsome.
Gunther?
He's got a nice jawline.
What was
he's
that?
A main event. He's a main event.
Handsome.
Jay, what was that retro photo you texted us this week of like his back in 2007 in Japan? He had like dyed green hair. He's probably 125 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
like he's a new man.
What I like about him though is the fact that he still has Imperium, but he doesn't need them to cause shenanigans to win his matches. He just wins his matches where you don't expect it to happen. You don't go into a Gunther match going, there's going to be Imperium interference, and it's going to be over.
Of Roman.
He's the opposite of Roman.
Yeah.
He's that good.
Yeah. And the thing with Gunther is the chops against Jay. Jay has a massive amount of tattoos, up including all around his true nipple. Okay,
yes,
I mean his whole chest.
You could have said peck, but
not 100%.
He zoomed in,
filled in. Right, there's some skin. It's crazy with all the chops, like the like black and greenish style tattoos. Right, the darker color. Like you could see the red imprints from all the slabs in between. It was just like ouch, and the bursted blood vessels. Gunther is what, if I actually went to the gym consistently, he's who I'd want to look like. Not massively jacked up. I think Gunther is like who we have the most ability, Joe.
Yes.
That's about
not
it.
At all.
But no, this is the thing. Well, you look at Drew McIntyre, massive, right? So muscular. Like everyone's so muscular for being known as like the badass. Gunther's just tall, lean, doesn't have the most body muscles, but he's scary. I wouldn't want to be in the ring with Gunther. I'd rather be in the ring, I think, maybe not Brock Lesnar either, but like a lot of other people. But going back to Cody versus Drew at the beginning, Cody, when he jumped up on the top rope and had that Cody cutter on Drew, that was one of the prettiest things in that entire match.
I feel like there was so much more on Raw. I'm just blanking on it right now.
The thing I wanted to bring up. Go ahead, Joe. No, go ahead.
Oh, well, it's like we had Cody versus Drew, which it was the exact right ending it should have been because Drew needed the momentum more than Cody did, and Cody's story for this one is the Uso fearance, and he has to have a plan to go against it. So perfect. The women's like rotating Elimination Chamber promos, Becky with her new hat, which got over way more than Jake Hager's hat ever did in AEW, was awesome as well. And I loved the R-Truth DIXY.
Oh, the breakdown.
I love that story.
Yeah.
So I know you're not into like the entertaining portion of the R-Truth story, but he's like probably he's probably like the third most over face on all
he's so
WWE.
over. People love R-Truth.
Yeah.
And how about just quickly, Chad Gable and Ivar?
Oh,
that was a great match
another
too.
one.
So bummed Ivar in the chamber.
What's that? Yeah, I know you're still bummed about
it. Ivar's not in the chamber.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm bummed Chelsea Green's not in the chamber.
Oh yeah, they tried to pull that off.
It's funny because I had, when they started the match, they went to commercial, so I kind of skipped through on Roku. You can see where it's fast forwarding through. Apple TV, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Well, for whatever reason, I couldn't. So I scanned through, and it was towards the end of the match. And I'm like, I bet Chelsea Green's hiding under the ring. Didn't know.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I was like, all right.
That match is 5 faces, though, now. 5. Tiffany Stratton is the only heel in that entire match.
Yeah, but look. No, she lost the Battle Royale.
Oh, that's right. She did.
It's like the standoff, Joe, you mentioned. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought
because of Tiffany.
All of them did well.
Yeah.
And here's something you're going to be surprised with. I thought Nia Jax had a great promo too when it came
I thought
to
Nia
her
looked amazing.
Rhea Ripley's.
Their backstage.
Yeah, the backstage one. I don't know, this from beginning to end, it was one of those Raws where it didn't feel like 3 hours.
I really enjoyed it. I thought, I'll get into some other things that kind of were emphasized, but let's get into maybe the first big integration for TKO of UFC with WWE. We get Michael Chandler, who got a nice little pop, I'd say, and he gets on the microphone. He calls out Conor McGregor, and then we go back to action or whatever we did. Jay, you're the leading UFC guy. What did you think of this? And I guess if this is like the level of integration, like maybe we're going to see more of this sort of stuff. Is that okay with you, or you want more or less? What's the deal?
When all this happened, I said, you're going to see more UFC fighters ringside and WWE people cage side. So I'm not surprised that they did it, but this is, I don't know. Kind of like those people that don't like their food touching.
Right. There you go.
So like, it is what it is. Now dummies are like, oh, they're going to do their fight at WrestleMania.
I saw that suggested.
I'm like, if that happens, just, that can't happen. Because if it does, like, what's the fucking point? They're going to have a worked fight at WrestleMania, then have a real one at UFC.
Yeah.
In the summertime, like, and this fight, it was supposed to happen last year. They did Ultimate Fighter last summer, and they were supposed to fight after that. And then it was one thing after another. And I give Chandler credit. He's a very likable guy. He shows up on a lot of the shows I listen to and watch, and he has the golden ticket, the red panty night. If you don't know what that means, it's a Conor McGregor saying that when you get the call to fight Conor McGregor, you call home and hey, baby, put on it's red panty night. You're celebrating that you're getting the big payday fighting Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And Chandler is not taking another fight until he gets this fight. And I don't blame him. He's a smart guy too. He's got a lot of businesses. He got a lot of irons in the fire. So, money is not, it's not the only thing he fights for. And he's a very entertaining fighter. He came from Bellator and he came right in and has fought all top 7 guys, like in the top, all his fights have been in the top 10, top 7. So like, this is the guy. He's a very likable guy. If I had a daughter, I would say, hey, you should date a guy like Michael Chandler.
I didn't think we'd be going quite this far into Michael Chandler that we're talking about dating.
I love the UFC.
That was great.
I want to do an MMA show so bad, but I don't have anybody that could be my co-host that knows everything. I know some. I don't know everything. Man. I know some.
So
Joe, Conor McGregor, you never know. He might answer.
Yeah. Joe, and you're the least into UFC. Correct. So this level of integration, did you roll your eyes at this, or was it all right?
Huh? I loved it.
I loved it.
I love the integration.
Like something.
I love the fact that they're incorporating it together. I want to see WWE guys cage side like Undertaker was like 10 years ago when Brock Lesnar walked by him. It builds intrigue. It builds a product. It like basically puts 2 worlds together.
Well, that one Creed brother said he's down to do a UFC fight. Julian, or the tall one, I think.
Yeah, Julius.
He trained with Daniel Cormier.
Because there was a UFC
fight. Did that surprise you that I was like, I loved every second of it because it's
because you hate everything.
It's way. No, I don't.
You could have done the Conor.
This year, I was being more positive.
You did.
Think about it this way: would you rather have UFC guys at ringside, basically looking like they're having a good time, not going like this is beneath our level, or would you rather have the USA stars of like the silk stockings or whatever at ringside who know nothing of the sport? Right. Which one would you rather have being the promotional integration?
Option 1.
I don't know. I was very excited to see.
You missed Mario Lopez in Pacific Blue.
What was he, 17 or 18-year-old bull riding championship that I didn't give a shit about?
We had some boxer who I'd never heard of, and then the bull rider. It was, it's Anaheim. They're in the it's Hollywood's up the road or down the road. So I get it, but
the Netflix executives who are there drunk.
Yes, Joe. Yes.
Hello, it's Area Vice President Steve Smith.
But I don't care. Like they're changing things up. They are wiping their hands of what Vincent's vision was. Yeah. They are going to a new level. I am enjoying the ride.
I really thought you were going to pull that Conor McGregor press conference clip with it was a Chad Mendez, I think, Jay. Who the fuck is that guy? I thought that would have been you.
Jeremy Stevens.
Jeremy Stevens.
There you go. Right?
I actually thought Joe was
who the fuck is that?
A Conor reference of, it was when he defeated Eddie Alvarez at MSG at UFC 205. He was like, I just want to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
Joe was going to go in that direction. But speaking of new directions, Brian, you're the production nerd here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it. So many new looks and graphics and things on Raw.
Shout out to Joe for tagging me on this article by awfulannouncing.com, one of my favorite websites. And they did a whole thing on just the new production of WWE. Of course, we know Kevin Dunn, I think right at the end of the year, retired. And they brought in this Lee Fitting, who was an ESPN guy for a long time. I think did stuff with College Game Day. And there's just all these different things that we're seeing that with the Kevin Dunn style just hadn't been done or very rarely been done. How about the pre-match video package for Cody and Drew? Of course, WWE's legendary video packages, but mainly for the pay-per-view. So on Raw, that was a nice touch. That drone shot from outside the arena, coming right,
a little too slow for my liking.
It was slow, but I like. Do they have like security guards like lined up like so no one swats the damn thing? I don't know how they pull that off. Pat McAfee with the telestrator, right? There was a lot of different stuff, and people are noticing. I think it's amazing. I'm enjoying it, and I don't know. I don't know if it's really just the nerd in me, but I wonder what you guys think too, because I think it's only adding to my enjoyment of the product.
The graphic things that they do when they go to commercial, I find interesting because it's like a wrestler and then their name pops up and then there's another version of them. And, it's cool because it's new. I'm not going to lie though. I'm kind of losing my interest in McAfee.
I thought he was as best he's been since he's been back on Monday.
But
I know a lot. Yeah, this past Monday, I was
Yes.
like, okay, I think Pat's hitting his stride again.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little rocky at start. But what'd you think of the telestrator? Because I know a lot of people thought, nah, we're not feeling that, and that's a Pat, Pat being silly.
I mean, if I was back in Pittsburgh, I would give him the button.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I personally liked it because
You played yourself.
When Drew tilted his head, he would like put the eyes, like, oh, laser eyes, looking at this, blah blah. I laughed. If it's week after week, I don't think a little goes a long way. I think if you do it every week, it's going to get boring and stale after like maybe 3. But
I love what Drew posted about that shot. He said, "Look in my eyes. What do you see?"
He's on fire.
One mini graphic that maybe it's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks is when it goes ding ding, last match of the night.
They're doing that.
I'm a big fan of that because I know this past Monday it went ding ding at 10:30. So we got 30 minutes. But then after the entrances and commercials, I think it started at like 37 after or something like that. But you're going to get 20 some good minutes. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
What about too? They're doing the 2K rating that they showed.
I'm not so much a fan of that. It's still like cross promotion and they are doing that, but I don't like the fact that they they're playing against each other, and usually the one with the higher ratings is the one who wins. So it's like you're telling us ahead of time who's gonna win that match.
Yeah, what's Tozawa's rating?
Who did Logan Paul fight on SmackDown?
Miz. And Miz had an 81. And Logan
Logan's score was higher than Miz's. That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
I said that. I'm like, this is dumb.
And then you had Ivar and Chad Gable at a 79 and 80, and it's like that's what.
Okay. I like it because it's a conversation piece. We're just talking about it now, even though that's fun to be like, how is Miz an 81?
But it goes back to like, if you remember back in like the early 2000s, the Madden ratings, and people were complaining, players were complaining about those. It's like, why am I at 81 when but it was way more than, I think.
Yeah.
Now it's like the 99 club.
99 club. Yeah. I don't know. I'm liking where it's headed, and new and fresh is always good for me. So this has been so far so good, I would have to say. Let's shift gears.
Speaking of new and fresh.
Speaking of new and fresh, if you've been wondering what Mandy Rose has been up to, I think most people know she's been doing the OnlyFans or fan time thing, right? Risque content. Since she was released from WWE, I think a little over a year ago now.
It was before she was released, and that's why she was released.
Yeah, that's right.
Take pictures instead of wrestle.
That's right. So she did a podcast and talked about, and she said, I think she has her own podcast because we all do. One person has spent $55,000 on her OnlyFans. And she didn't say a name.
It's not you.
I don't know. I don't know what. Like, how does that how much content and what's the rate, the payments?
All right.
I have no idea.
Rinse McFan.
No. So when I did my creepy December on Lacey Evans, the way they do it is they'll post like at least this was with Lacey Evans.
Yeah.
Post a picture of whatever. And then you get a message saying you can buy these 3 photos and 2 videos, which are a little more risque. Like with Lacey Evans, she showed her tits or her ass, but no vagina. So like, I think it's that.
Maybe Mandy's. That's the Yeah, the
It's like,
levels.
2 or 3 different things here and there, and that shit adds up. If you buy them all, like I said, I wanted to see what it was like. I didn't know what these fan sites are. And and now there's talks that Lacey Evans and Mandy Rose might do a collaboration on these things. And I'm canceled now. I've been done since the end of December. My creep time's over. But when I saw that $55,000, I'm like,
wow,
you could have bought some really good hookers for that money. Real vagina.
You would think so.
You
would think so.
You would hope so.
You could taste the rainbow many times for $55,000.
Well, that's my question, guys. Like, to put it to us, like, what's something crazy that you would be willing, some people would think would be crazy, you'd be willing to spend 55 grand on?
If I had 55,000 in disposable income, Kevin would probably back me on this one. I would buy really good bourbon.
How much is there going to be one for 55 though?
Yeah, the Tornado collection from Buffalo Trace. Look it up. It's the Tornado. Basically, it's called the Tornado, something kit. And the background of it was the tornado hit the factory, the roof went off, and the barrels on top they thought were ruined. But in reality, it was like the best that they had. And for some reason, it's so rare that it's actually about $55,000 a bottle.
Damn. Okay.
I would pay for that.
How much is Pappy, Joe?
I have no idea.
Joe, what is the most you have spent for a bottle of booze?
$180.
And what was it?
It was the Sinatra Jet.
Okay, so I bought the same one, but I got it for $159. That's the most I've ever paid for a bottle.
Wow.
So I guess let's kind of take the conversation to a different direction. We all have hobbies. We all have interests. What is the most you have spent on a hobby or interest? I'll go. I bought a pair of Kobe Bryant sneakers for $1,100. And I've never worn them, and I have zero intention of ever wearing them. Kev, video games?
I probably my digital pinball machine and my 2 arcades, probably everything together is probably like $1,200.
I'd say my arcade was about 9 to 1,000, something like
Brian
that.
bought that chalkboard behind him for $9.99.
What does that say? FU on it? Is that what it
says? Seriously,
I
Brian,
told you that my daughter's Fiona. It's an F and an I.
It said free.
Oh, the most he's ever spent? Yeah, we have kids. That's actually
Brian.
No, on yourself. It's your own personal hobby, not your kids.
Think. I'm thinking, was it the SummerSlam ticket? Was it a WrestleMania ticket? Maybe. I mean, the most I tried was Super Bowl XL. Jay, if you remember, I had about $1,000 cash on me to try to buy a bootleg ticket, and I couldn't find one. But I tried.
Right?
Yeah, it's not bootleg ticket, but somebody tried to sell me a bootleg ticket, and I said, I don't think so, buddy, and he walked away, so I knew that, it was a bootleg ticket. So that was my biggest attempt, I guess, but I can't think of anything else that's, even worthy.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, you have a boat.
I didn't buy that boat.
Oh, okay.
We know who did. I showed up at a bar, and the person in question said, I think I just bought a boat. And I looked at my friend and just threw my hands in the air like, this is my life. True story.
So, I did just buy something, and I'll tell you guys off air because I don't. It's not $1,200 something, but I did buy some.
Mandy Rose pictures.
Yeah.
Wait, was that $55,000 you spent?
No.
I thought Kevin and Joe were gonna be like, I'm gonna buy 100 of the Lions championship titles that were 500 each.
It came across my mind.
Kevin mentioning the arcade. I'm like, that's right, because he's the one who talked me into buying mine. So whatever you spent, I did.
And Kev, when my house is done, when I move into my house from my apartment, I'm sure that arcade unit will be coming my way too. So, but no, I was just, look, everybody does what they. Yeah. I don't really judge people on what they do because it's their money. They make it. They do what they want to do. And the guy wants to spend 50 grand on porn. Great. But dude, you could have had real hookers for $55,000.
Amazing. And I mean, she wasn't, I don't know if she was laughing when she said it, but she was definitely like
laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Sean Rouse Saplin. That girl is never taking a bump in the ring again.
Yeah.
She don't need no money any longer. All right. It's almost Elimination Chamber preview prediction time. We're going to have another guest picker here in a little bit. But before we do that, Jay, you were back doing your wrestling fun this past weekend.
Yeah, so it was February Fury, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, West Newton, Pennsylvania. We had Tommy Dreamer as the name, and we had the return of Notorious Norm Connors, legendary independent wrestling promoter from Pittsburgh. He got out about eight or 9 years ago. He returned to help. We've got some guys really trying to take over RWA, J-Rock, Chris Taylor, and crew. So Tommy Dreamer came at the request of Norm to help, and all hell broke loose, but I'm not going to say anything more than that. IndieWrestling.network. You can watch the whole show. I had some pretty fun lines. There's a wrestler, GME, Gianni Michael Enrico. He's an Italian strongman. So the whole match, I had one line I was trying to get out, but it just wasn't the right time. And that line was, "That's a spicy meatball."
Yeah, that's a good
one.
But
it didn't work during the match. And then as we were ramping up to the next match, I got it in right as the graphic came up to end that segment and move on. So, the commentary stuff is a lot of fun, man. I never wanted to be a wrestler. I am doing some in-ring stuff, which maybe down the road we'll post that footage online. But, Tommy Dreamer, man, that guy, not that I was never a fan. He was just, was just one of those guys. But, man, he, the tradition, I guess, when you get to the locker room, you walk around and you shake everyone's hand. Tommy came in and he walked around and dapped everyone up. Like, he didn't have to do that. Didn't have to do that. So Tommy Dreamer, that dude's all right by me, man. Not that he needs my approval by means, but as someone who is new to all of this, we had Gangrel last month, Tommy Dreamer this month. There's a surprise next month. Chris Taylor, if you're watching this, I don't know who it is, and I know you don't know who it is. So IndieWrestling.network, RWALive.com for info about the promotion. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's
awesome.
Glad I'm glad I get the chance to chat about it from time to time. Maybe I should do an independent wrestling show. Who knows? Maybe we'll get into that another time, because I know you guys don't do the indies. You don't watch. So,
well, I mean, I throw on the GCW every now and again.
Yeah, but see, they're
they're borderline mainstream.
There's so many levels to the indies. So another chat for another time. Maybe another show. Who knows? But let's move on.
You got it. All right. Well, we're going to welcome. It's going to be time for our Elimination Chamber preview and predictions. And we started this last month with the Royal Rumble, where not only do the four of us give our picks, but we have a special guest picker for every PLE. And so I got my buddy Matt Young on the program. Matt, welcome. These are the boys. How are you, Bummerhead?
Fellas, I'm doing excellent. Happy to be here. How we doing?
Hey, Matt, what is the most money you have spent on a hobby? Like, if you're a bourbon guy or a sneaker guy, like, what is the most amount of money you've spent on one item for your hobby?
Does weed count as a hobby?
It does.
It does by me.
It's legal in Michigan.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll have to bust out some spreadsheets and get back to you.
How many pounds did you buy the last time?
He's more of an overtime, it builds up. It's like equity.
No, this was a one and done purchase, basically.
Yeah.
But Brian, I have to say, last time Barbara Ryan cuts hair, Matt might have the nicest hair I've ever seen on this show.
Wow, thank you.
Like magnificent.
My Brillo pad on top, damn.
Appreciate the feedback there. I'll
Is that a
definitely,
Yankees
definitely
jersey
let
though on the
my
back?
No, it's a White Sox jersey. We let a White Sox fan on the show. What's going on here?
yeah, it's tough. It's tough out in these streets right now as a White Sox fan for sure. But
Who is
it is
that?
what it
Jermaine?
is.
Is that Jermaine Dye?
That is Jermaine
Okay.
Dye.
Yeah.
Autographed World Series MVP Jermaine Dye.
Maybe that was the most he spent on a hobby.
Yeah, perhaps.
It could be.
Yeah, got some memorabilia, my kid, he's not really a hobby. He's like,
Yeah, we disqualified the spending money on kids.
Yeah, for sure.
So Matt, this came up because we were just discussing Mandy Rose revealed on a podcast that, of course, she's doing like the OnCloud fan time thing.
Get out of here. I have no idea.
Oh,
yeah, shocking. I know.
Breaking news.
This is brand new information.
She mentioned on the podcast that one person has spent $55,000 on her OnlyFans, and so that came up with our what is our hobby highest expense rate, because clearly somebody has been doing some major work with Mandy Rose's OnlyFans.
Definitely explains why she's not showing up to wrestle Deonna Purrazzo.
Mandy, you want to be on Rampage? What's going on? All right, so Matt and I met probably mid-August, later August.
It was after SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was after SummerSlam, which was early August, and Matt, we were out at the St. Clair Shore Social District, and he's around me, I'm around him, and I see him wearing the yellow LA Knight shirt. I don't know if you're wearing that right now. Kind of looks like it.
Yeah,
like
I am.
So,
yeah.
And so,
are you wearing the LA Gears shoes?
the LA gear. You'll hear that.
I wish
earlier,
I had
Matt.
that kind of cheddar.
Yeah. so I see him. He's over by me, and I like motion to Angela, like I gotta say something here. And I was like, hey man, let me talk to you. And a friendship was born, a bond over wrestling. Matt, before we get into the preview and picks, though, I wanted to know, when did you start watching wrestling? Like, were you a young kid, like the four of us, or other? I never really got into that part with you in our chats.
Yeah, so when I was probably like 9 or 10, I was in 4th grade. I think my mom wouldn't let me watch wrestling, and then I broke my leg playing soccer. And she was like, all right, you know what? Because you're like laid up, it's the summer, you don't have anything to do, I'll let you watch wrestling. Thinking
nice.
Like, you're 10, it'll be like 2 months and you'll forget about it. And here we are, 30 years later, we have not forgotten about it.
Thanks, so, do you remember like who those wrestlers were, like in those first episodes you were seeing? And that stuck with you?
Shawn Michaels, like 100% stuck with me. Watched, it's WrestleMania. It's like 12 or 13, the Iron Man match with Shawn and Brett was my first like real pay-per-view wrestling memory.
That's awesome. So
kind of a dud of a match when you watch it now.
Well, still, what's Alexa talking to us in the cat? What was that?
I think that was my watch.
Oh, that was you. Okay. Oh. Got one of those Dick Tracy watches. What's up with that?
Looking up super kick videos.
Well, so Shawn or Brett then, man? Who's their guy?
I was thinking about this earlier. It's Shawn for me, but I love Brett. I'm not like a Brett hater by any means.
Same here.
Kevin almost cried when he met Bret Hart in August.
I mean, how could you not? It's an emotional time.
I wanted him to cry so bad because we had it on. We were running film for the podcast and almost had him.
If you wanted to see Brett cry, you could have worn your Goldberg T-shirt.
I know. No, did you shocked or something? Cry or almost die?
Depends, I guess.
It never ends with them on Goldberg. All right, well, let's get into this. So we'll go through the Elimination Chamber card. 4 matches. So we don't get paid by the hour again. But no pressure, Matt. But our guest picker, Barbara Ryan, has the lead. He was 4-0 in his Royal Rumble pick.
I know. I did listen. So
yes. So
I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous.
The bar is high. Yes. Joe and Kevin are right behind at 3-1. I am at 2-2, and
we're coming for you, Matt.
Bring it up the rear.
I tank these picks on purpose. Because I was the only
God.
person to pick Roman Reigns to beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania.
If
You know
ain't
it's
first,
only
you're
worth
last,
1
so it doesn't
point,
even
right?
matter.
I
It's-
tanked the picks to let you
it's-
guys feel better about yourselves.
It's an interesting strategy, but hey, you never know. All right, so let's get into it. Kevin got the spreadsheet up to record our picks, right, my friend? Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Let's start off. How about the Judgment Day versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate? And Kev, you're on my left screen, so you can start.
Yeah, I'll go Judgment Day. Even though I am really enjoying the Dunn Tyler Bate duo, I just don't see him taking over Judgment Day on Elimination Chamber. Maybe later down the road, just not during that PLE.
Jay, over to you.
Yeah.
Well, I said this wasn't going to take long because it's only 4 matches, but I was mistaken. I think that's Judgment Day, right?
I think he chose LA Knight. He said,
I have
LA
Jay
Gear.
down. I have Jay down for
yeah.
He's
He
still
chose
mad
British.
about
He
Ivar
chose
not
British
making the
Knights.
chamber.
I mean, you interrupted me, Brian.
I'm
so
sorry. I'm
shut
sorry.
up.
Keep it going.
Ass.
All right.
No, it'll be the Judgment Day.
Okay.
I don't see them losing until WrestleMania.
I think so. Joe?
Judgment Day.
All right. Matt?
As much as I'd like to, the Bate and Dunn, they just got a name for the tag team. I forgot what it is, but
It's
as
a
much as
dumbass name. That's what it is.
oh, it's bad. So I want to pick them, but no, I got to go Judgment Day.
We've talked about how, like, last week we looked back at the Elimination Chamber from 10 years ago, and it was the tag team of Ryback and Curtis Axel, better known as Rybaxel.
Oh,
So
yeah.
can we do Dunn and Bate being date?
I think Buns
or
is even
Bun,
better.
Buns, yeah. A lot of man buns going on in that team. I don't know.
It could be
It's almost
Bane.
as bad as Bicky.
We just don't need Dunn being called was it
Butch.
Master? And then
Butch and Bate, yeah.
No,
What could that have been?
Master.
Master. Okay.
there you go.
Real mature.
What's the next? What's the next one? What's the next one?
But
yeah,
Brian hasn't picked.
I haven't picked it. I'm going to go Judgment Day. I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of shenanigans that Dunn and Bate get it that would cause, like maybe Dom gets involved and costs Judgment Day the match, and we can get something going on with Priest. Priest can't even cash in at this show. There's no champion on this show, so
That'll be the Grayson Waller effect.
We will, yes. So,
Our truth would be the one to mess him up, not Dom.
That's true. Okay.
And if you got any balls, Brian,
that.
you'll go against the crowd and pick them to be new champions.
Well, I can't do that on this, but maybe in one of these other matches. So yeah, Judgment Day for me.
Okay, Brian, let's go the women's. You're gonna take Nia?
All right. You make your picks, I'll make mine. But Kev, you can't start. Let's go women's chamber. It's Raquel Rodriguez who came back on Monday Night's Raw. We got Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton. Kev, over to you.
Oh, okay.
Real professional outfit we got going on.
As much as I would love anyone to win that match, especially Tiffany Stratton, feel like this PLE, every match is basically almost like, I know it's predetermined, but it's almost predetermined to be predetermined.
What?
It's almost like
that's all the time we've got for this week, Kev. Jesus
it's like we
Christ.
already. It's like it's so clear, almost like who's going to win every single match. That's the biggest thing.
We'll find out.
I'll go Becky, just from the press conference that we had for Mania a couple weeks ago.
Jay, over to you.
And you think I'm the reason this shit's going to take long? Did you just hear that answer?
He broke it down for him.
Liv Morgan is my pick.
Nice. Look at you.
Let's
all right.
go.
Joe?
Becky. Done.
All right. Matt?
Brian, if you have me pick first,
Shut up,
I'm going to
Kevin. You
talk.
already talked.
I know.
The
Go
goal
ahead,
is for
buddy.
not picking me first.
Do
every
your
single
thing.
time.
Do your thing. I don't got the basics
Kevin
in
last.
play when we got a time limit to cut it off. We're okay. What you got, Matthew?
I'm going Becky as well. Gonna stick with it. Seems like this one's on the wall. The old writing.
Well said. Yeah, I can't not pick Becky, but I am really curious what other feuds come out of this, because this is a really good lineup of women. So what's going to happen with Tiffany moving forward, and Naomi and Liv and all that. So I'm hoping it's going to be a really good match, but it's been telegraphed Becky for months now, so I have to pick her. Men's Elimination Chamber: LA Knight, Randy Orton, Drew, Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley. Go ahead, Kev.
No, I'm good. Next.
No, we got to stick in order.
He's picking nobody.
Well, the same person shouldn't go first every single time, because I don't want to steal anyone else's thunder. I'll go Drew McIntyre, and here's my 14 reasons why.
You have it on Post-it?
Number 1, he's from Scotland. Number 2, he was the chosen one.
He got a nice T-shirt with him over a grave. 3, he draws little faces, tattoos on Cody's face. He uses Just for Men gel. That's
got good hair.
Pretty clear.
Sure.
His hair is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll interrupt everyone else when I have new ones.
All right, thank you, Jay. Over to you.
Hey, Matt, are you going to get up at 5 a.m. to watch this?
I'm going to be at Brian's at 4:58.
All right.
I told you that I could not come over, but I will.
Come on.
I mean, I'm on the West Coast. I will be up at 2 a.m. to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, you're a real American. The Hulkster would be proud.
Yeah.
You have to be
on? I don't even remember.
Men's chamber.
The men one.
Yeah. I'm going Randy Orton.
Let's go. Like it a lot. All right, go ahead, Joe.
Drew.
Like Drew Carey, or what?
Thanks for sticking with the program. What
Drew
you got,
McIntyre.
Matt? What you got?
Yeah, no, but I'm going Drew.
Okay. Jay, I'm with you. I'm going Randy Orton. And here's why.
14 reasons too.
So much of Drew McIntyre, this whole thing has been about him being like so close and getting screwed. I think that continues, even though he just got a big win over Cody. I think that continues in the chamber. Something's going to happen that he's not going to get this big win. Maybe Sami Zayn fucks with him. I don't know. I don't know how it happens, but I don't see him winning, even though I think he's the favorite. Well,
what say you?
Disregard. I disregard that last remark, Joe. Maybe so. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to happen, but there's always been something that has messed with Drew for most of this last run. And I think it continues on Saturday. So give me Randy Orton. Let's go Randy Orton on this one.
Heath Slater interferes in gender interference.
Yes.
We get that 3-man band 3-way at Mania.
Any chance we get like a punk?
Since The Rock fucked
interference?
What's that?
Any chance we get like a punk interference?
Ooh. I don't know. I wonder if he's actually hurt, because usually they show surgery video of when a superstar gets hurt. Matt, a friend of mine, he's works for WWE, does documentaries and stuff. He was in the operating room with Cody when he was getting his pec sewn back together. So no Punk surgery footage. So,
sidebar, is this guy getting you a deal on those DVDs on the Twitter account?
No, I've had the DVDs before I met him. So I was the network before the network was the network. So
Matt, you figured it out.
Holding on to a Virgil DVD.
I do. Legend of Virgil, the DVD. Yeah, the documentary. Fun fact, lying. Virgil was the first wrestler I ever met when I was a kid. He was Soul Train Jones, and he was he dressed like Apollo Creed.
Amazing. I do not have that one in the memory bank.
I trust Matt. I trust Jay on that one for sure.
And that's a amazing fun fact.
That is. All right. So I'm guessing this is the main event. Rhea versus Nia. I'm just guessing because she's Australian and the big stadium.
And Nia Jax is awesome. That's why it's the main event.
Put it all on the reason list. I'm fine with it. So yeah, Rhea versus Nia. Kev, let's wrap it up, buddy.
I'll go Nia Jax. Psych.
I was like,
no, you already said it.
Final answer.
Even though I'm glad they're building Nia up like a monster, clearing the ring the other night. She's gotten better. She hasn't hurt anybody since she came back, which is fantastic. She did like the bonsai drop the other night. I think she's she's done great things. The only reason why I wouldn't want this to be the last match is if she does get beat. Maybe she beats down Naomi or someone and takes the spot in the chamber match and potentially like wins or something. Because I just don't want to see her get buried. I'm actually interested for the first time ever in Nia actually doing something good, but she's not going to do enough to win on Saturday at 5 a.m. start time. I'll go Rhea Ripley. You're not going to lose.
All right.
Your home country.
Drew McIntyre fact number 9.
He used to be in TNA.
Drew Galloway. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jay, what you got for
number
Rhea
10.
and Nia?
He was the chosen one.
All right.
When did Grayson Allen get traded to the Phoenix Suns?
I think two seasons ago.
Okay. Shit. He's actually getting to play now. Anyway,
did he hurt anyone?
Rhea, what'd you say,
Rhea?
Kev?
I said, did he hurt anyone? He hasn't.
He's had some question. I mean, he went to Duke, so he's kind of a dick.
He'd make a decent heel.
It's called the Grayson Allen effect, I think, is that talk show that he hosts.
I think I said Rhea. So
You did. Joe, what one word do you want to say?
Mommy.
Very good. Matthew.
I'm with Joe, going mommy. Although I did hear today Nia was born in Australia as well. So
are you serious?
That's what I heard.
Oh my God, that changes everything.
Could be made up, but I don't know. Someone said it, so it must be true.
Wow. All right.
Do you have two sources? You need 2 sources.
We need 2 sources on this. How else are we going to figure it out? All right, give me Rhea for the win. It's I can't see any other way for this one. Okay. Well, there you go. 4 matches. So, and has anything changed? We already got into it. Matt's up. Jay, you're staying up, or you're going to take a nap and then 2 a.m. you're on? What's the thinking here?
I'm going to the Laker game Friday night.
Nice.
So most likely I'll get home around midnight. So I probably will take like a 2-hour nap, if that.
Yeah.
And then I'll stay up I'll get up at 2 and watch, because I value this podcast, and as a member of this team, I want to make sure that we are up to date.
Unbelievable.
And that we can let the social team know what's going on so they can post about it. So,
and Joe, I remember you had not only do I have this, I'm running a half marathon. I'm feeding the homeless. I got a basketball game.
I got my alarm set at 4:33 a.m. on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So I just had to add Saturday for that one. So yes,
that's because your wife makes you get up and run 10 miles every morning.
Yes, Monday and Wednesday are my early workout days. But yes, I'm doing Elimination Chamber. Then I'm doing a 5K in town. And then I got to coach a basketball game in Ann Arbor. So then I'll be home to finally realize that I had a really long day.
Yeah. Don't forget about Collision later on Saturday night. No.
What?
Okay. Never mind. And Kev, you're rocking and rolling at 5. Is Brett going to be with you at 5, or how does that work out?
We're waking up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Man,
Brian,
I have a
lazy excuse.
Say what?
And Brian's excuse.
I got no lazy excuse. I did text Matt though. I would think there's at least a 50-50 chance of my dogs waking up at 4:45 in the morning to go to the bathroom and me going, all right, I guess I'm up. That I could see happening. But if that doesn't happen,
your dogs may wake up because Matt's going to be outside your house.
Knocking on the door.
Seriously.
Why don't you just watch it outside? Bust out the solo stove. It's
God!
It's gonna be probably 45 degrees.
It might be.
No, it's gonna be 30 as a high on Saturday. It's gonna suck.
It was 50 today. Yeah, maybe not on Saturday. I don't know, guys. I saw Fightful. They're not doing their post show until 3 in the afternoon to give people like me a chance to watch it. And so if it's good enough for Fightful, it's good enough for me. So
do you have anything else going on that day, Brian?
No.
Wake up.
So you have no excuse. You could have said your kids have a dance recital, you have to go clean your boat or whatever, but you literally have no excuses. Come on.
There's
Brett has his last at 9 a.m. We have to be at his school at 9 a.m. It's his last basketball game of his mini season. the spring season.
Okay.
Starts at 9.
Yeah. Fiona
this kid's
does
gonna wake
have,
up at 4:45.
Yeah. Fiona has a swim
Extreme carbo
practice
loads.
at like 10 or 10:30. I will say, guys, I think there's actually a 50-50 chance that grandma takes the girls Friday night overnight into Saturday.
So you have no excuse.
What's the possibility of Angela watching with you if you wake up early on Saturday
Well,
morning?
she did call Rhea
Less than
Ripley a
zero.
man at one time. So
Less than 0. No, she ain't. She's watching her eyelids, fellas. That's about it.
well, the text we'll be
All
texting.
right.
We'll be texting.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
We will be texting you.
I want to see photographic proof of, like, you guys next to the TV when Michael Cole's welcoming us. All you guys do that. We'll throw those on the social. Hey, and I guess you know what? That's what Australia has to do for all of our shows. So maybe it's one time we gotta show the love to them and get up early and mess up our schedule. So we'll have to see.
Everyone should
Not
have
very
a picture.
American of you, but all
It's
right.
just that Brian hates
Yeah.
Australia. That's what it means.
I don't know. But shout out to
Simon lives
Simon.
in Australia.
I know.
Shout out
Simon.
Come on, man.
Our
I will say
Australian
this.
correspondent.
I'll say
Yeah,
this.
and he thinks I suck.
You do, but you know.
Yeah, whatever.
I thought Barbara Ryan did a great job, right? And I was like, okay, how is any guest?
You know,
picker
Matt's
gonna be
still
able
here.
to-
Why? Are you...
No, let me finish. This is going to be my 11th Drew McIntyre comment. Okay. I thought Barbara Ryan did great, right? I was like, man, he really is like the true guest picker, right? But same level playing field right here. Matt, I thought you did an exceptional job. Whoever comes next, man, I feel like the bar is staying up at that top level. Just like Drew McIntyre. Busting through the roof. And that's
I saw the brass
Yeah.
ring, so
Yeah,
what else
yeah,
can
yeah.
I
It's
do?
grabbing it.
grabbed it. Yeah. Are you
Fun
gonna
fact: Drew McIntyre was the champion during the pandemic. You may not have known this.
That's a fun fact. Yes.
That is a
Yeah,
fun fact.
it'll be interesting when we get to WrestleMania and we have more than 4 matches to we'll have 2 nights, we'll have a lot, and so maybe that'll change the standings into some greater range. But hey, 4 down for Rumble, 4 down for Elimination Chamber. Our picks are in the books, and I think that'll do it for this week, guys. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast, at That WrestlePod for social media, and whatamaneuver.net for your TWP merchandise. Whether you're up at 5 a.m. or 2 a.m. or whatever, as always, for Elimination Chamber and every week, we always like to say, enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow at That WrestlePod on social media.